Hi, and welcome to Astro Mom. I have just a couple of things that I want to tell you guys this week. Like 3 or 4 pieces of information. The first thing is that on April 11th, Jupiter and the Sun conjunct, and they're going to be both in Aries in the same exact part of the sky, same sign, degree. It's considered the luckiest day of the year when Jupiter and the Sun conjoin. Jupiter is considered the great benefic in astrology, so it's the bringer of basically like good fortune and all good things, and it helps things grow and expand, and it rules luck and just kind of like most good things. And the sun is, the sun is life and vitality and all that stuff. So it's considered the luckiest day of the year. So try to, if you have something coming up that you can do, earlier in the month or later in the month, or you could possibly plan it for April 10th, 11th, 12th, right around April 11th would be the best time to do that. It's gonna bring good luck. Now, where in your, which sphere of your life that luck would most likely to occur, you would have to know your rising sign. Your sun sign, it will have some effect that way as well. I don't want to get too far into it. I do plan to kind of explain this to you guys and introduce you to the whole rising sign concept and how to look at your chart. We'll get to all that. But for now, just know that it's going to be a good day. Try to plan something important or fun or special, or, if you have a meeting with someone, that would be a good day. And if you're in Aries, of course, if it's your rising sign, it would be a little bit more exact as to where you can kind of expect that luck to hit. But if you're in Aries, it's probably going to be doubly good for you, because it will also be, it'll be in your solar house of you. Generally, I want to say, if you're in Aries, it'll be kind of more your career, your identity. It'll be something nice should happen. It should be a good day for everyone. The other thing that I want to tell you guys, I want to just talk very, very briefly about cusps. No one is born on a cusp. I guess that's not like technically true, but every year there is an actual day and time when the sun changes from one sign into another sign. So when people look at they'll look at, I don't know, for example, Aries or Taurus or whatever, and the date, if you look at any little astrology book or, one of those mugs that have the dates of the signs, there'll be one date and a beginning and an ending date. And so you'll assume that if you're born on one of those beginning or ending dates, it's I was born on a cusp. And a lot of times you can actually relate personality-wise to the sign before or after yours. So I get why people would think that. But literally, unless you were born that exact minute that the sun changed signs, minute, second that it changed signs, you're really not born on a cusp. You have a definite sun sign. Those dates that you would see on mass-produced stuff, those dates are not really exactly accurate, because they'll change from they can be off by a day or so from year to year. So you would need to actually look at an ephemeris, an online program, just look it up, this exact day and year, where was the sun? And that's your sun sign. Now, the reason that you can oftentimes relate to the sign before or after you is that there's personal planets like Mercury, Venus, and Mars that travel fairly close to the sun. So in a lot of cases, they will be off by just a sign. And so if you have your Mercury and your Venus in the sign right before or right after, depending on if you think you were born on a cusp at the beginning or the end of a sign, it totally makes sense that you can relate to that, because that's a big part of your, of your personality. You might think a Gemini, even though you're a Taurus. You might have your Venus in Gemini too. So a lot of the things that you're attracted to and that are fun to you and bring you a lot of pleasure might be things that are more typical of Geminis than Taurus is. You're never going to lose that core identity. If you're a Taurus, you are a Taurus. But it is totally understandable that if you're born super late, at the very beginning or the very end, you might see some of the other sign in yourself and can relate to that. Still not born on a cusp. And the other thing that I want to tell you guys, I really would love to just kind of share a little bit more about making sense of astrology in your actual day-to-day life. Not like something, you know, that's like all new agey out there, but something where you can like, oh, I see what's happening here. Yeah. I kind of expected these energy shifts. Never predicting the future. You cannot predict specific events. It just doesn't work that way. But you can get a general sense of where things are going. So I'm going to give you a little homework assignment. Find out the time that you were born. If it's on your birth certificate, great, super easy. If you have to, you know, call and ask your mom. Some people, they just, if you were like born in another country, or if you're, you know, born a long time ago, like some of us were, it might be a little bit harder, but it's really super important. If you want to get the most out of astrology, the closer you can get to the exact time that you were born, the more likely you can get an actual accurate chart drawn up. The easier it is to pay attention to like the movements of different planets and things, and see, and just kind of make sense of it and see what's happening and see how accurately it reflects what's happening in the sky and how it affects what's happening down here. So I will in the future post like a chart calculator on this, like attach it to this video, so that if you guys don't know how to do it, it's super easy. There's a million places online where you can plug in your information and get a chart. I think astro.com is one of them. Really, there are like a million different ways of sites that are good at doing that. But I will figure out which one I think is the easiest and best and attach it to a future video. But in the meantime, find out exactly what time you were born and the city. You know, I'm sure most of you know where you were born, but try to get the time because it is super important. There was a full moon yesterday. Some parts of the country it'll be today in Libra. I don't know. I didn't really feel anything. It was at 16 degrees. So if you, well, I'm probably getting ahead of most of you guys, unless you are aware of the placements in your chart that have degrees. So if you have something that's super close to 16 degrees, maybe something came up for you. I didn't notice it. I wasn't in a great mood. I didn't feel like yesterday was like, I don't know. It actually kind of felt like a little bit of a bummer, but maybe that is, I think that full moons can sometimes make us feel a little bit emotional and not always in the great way. So I don't know if you noticed anything interesting or specific, let me know. And the other thing that I want to tell you is we are coming back into eclipse season. So you're going to start getting more information, like announcements, notices. Like you will notice that more things are happening to more people. Might not be you, might just be somebody like family, friends. It just seems like the speed kind of life picks up a little bit and more things start happening. And I think that's just what I've noticed and what I've read and what I've studied. That is what happens when eclipses start happening again. And when, you know, there's one on May 5th and one on April, I think 20th. And I'll give you more details as we get a little bit closer, but you'll see kind of life picks up a little bit, some good, some bad, but just speeds up the timeline of fated events. So I hope that you have found this interesting. Click like if you feel like it. I'm going to try to make these videos a little bit more consistent and, you know, maybe post once a week or something, but I don't know, it gets hard. And if you notice, I am once again posting a video that was made in my car, and I don't see that probably changing. I think most of these will probably come from my car because it's so easy and nice to be alone and just to kind of grab a few minutes out of the day. It's pretty hard to do this anywhere else. So astrology from my car. Have a great day. Have a great month. See you soon.